Hey, this is Glendon, founder of Hustlers Kung Fu, all about making that money without a job. Today, we're going to talk about a business event that happens every year. It's called Black Friday. People be going crazy. There's all kinds of deals, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful time of year for many people in terms of profits, in terms of sales. There's just so much going on. This year, I didn't really participate in Black Friday. I kind of said, just kind of skipped it, right? Because it's not really the best thing for certain businesses, I should say. And I'm going to get into all that in a minute. Now, as you know, I have Fat Cat Profits, the LLC beta course. 11 hours to get in at $99. That's a one-time payment. It's not per month. And you'll learn how the power of proper corporate structure can make you money, save you money, and protect your money. We'll be jumping off into that. We'll be doing a lot of modules this weekend, so you definitely want to be part of that. Now, let's talk about Black Friday. What prompted this was I was talking to someone who wasn't savvy on how this thing works, because they were telling me, it's like, hey, I know that you aren't doing any Black Friday sales. You know, I had a few things. I did a little stuff, but I didn't do super heavy discounting. And typically that's what people who are going to purchase Black Friday stuff wants. They want those $300 deals off, those $300 deals. You know, they want big discounts, big juicy discounts, right? And I didn't really want to do it. And I said, you know what? We're not going to do it this year. We'll put a few things out, but we're not going to do it. Why? Because we sell year round. And then this person who doesn't have a business, no business, was all, well, you know, most companies make all their profits in the fourth quarter. I was just, do you know how many companies would go out of business if they made all their profits in the fourth quarter? Most companies are profitable year round through either tax efficiency or something. They're just not, there's too many things that can happen. Like, I'm in Georgia and summer doesn't want to leave. It'll leave and then they'll come back and it's cold for 3 days, then it's 75 degrees, right? Well, that impacts a lot of stuff. That impacts commodities, that impacts fuel, and there's this trickle effect, and this is the weather, and you can't control this. So if you're going to wait, excuse me, to the end of the year to make all your money, that's not only foolish, it's dangerous. It is extremely dangerous. Now, with these Black, because you know, I got the Steelers, even though we suck this year. That's my team. And I got the Black Friday theme going on. It's all blacked out. Let me do this more because I kind of like it. Like, it'll be really cool if I do this at night and there's no sun coming through the blinds. But it's just a misnomer. It's just not, there are many businesses, especially high-end brands, that don't take advantage of Black Friday, or what the case of, you know, Best Buy is a really good one to watch. Best Buy has great sales, and you'll see that this television is on for sale, and there'll be a model number, right? And then you go to Amazon and you'll see the same television, but it has a different model number. The things that they could sell through their normal channels have better components. Maybe it's a closer warehouse. Maybe there's so many variables that could go into it, because excuse me, when I had my retail business, my physical business, shipping can be a trip. I had a customer in California. I had a distributor in California. It was cheaper to go to my distributor and say, look, I know you normally don't do this, but could you do this for me this time? Because it was a difference of $300 for profit for me versus me, even though the shipping was inclusive in the deal. It was big. It's $300, right? So where the distribution of the warehouse is, the distribution system is, how's the shipping, who you're hooked up with, all of these other things. There's so many things that go into it. So if you are going to be in business in 2017 and you're going to go ahead and be positioning yourself for Black Friday 2017, you need to start now. You need to figure out what products that you can sell at a deep discount, because that's what moves the needle. That's what moves the needle for most people. Deep discounting. Super, super deep discounting. And if you don't do that, you're not going to win, Playboy. You're not going to win, Playgirl. So part of this is positioning. Now, one of the things I'm doing with my companies is I am moving away from discounting and Black Friday type promotions, and I'm moving toward the deal of, like, if you get to the bakery first, you get the fresh rolls, you get the fresh donuts, because you got there early, right? Later in the day, people get a discount because to get the stale stuff, but since my stuff never goes sell, you come in early, you get the better deals, just like with the Fat Cat Profits LLC course. And essentially, you got to pick what lane you want to be in. Do you want to be a discounter? Do you want to be a low margin seller? What's that term? Fast nickel, slow dime. I think with the competition that is out there, the fast nickel, slow dime is going to be a very hard business model for many people to maintain, because it's predicated on velocity. Velocity being how fast you can sell it, bring it in and sell it. So when you run into this massive thing, because I did some research, it's like Amazon, I think, has 2 million third-party resellers, right? And I'm going to make another estimate because I didn't get too deep into it, but I'm going to think like 90% of those folks don't make 100 G's, gross sales. So it's the Pareto rule, 80-20 rule. I guarantee you that 20% of their third-party resellers are selling 80 to 90% of the stuff. And I guarantee you it is people with warehouses, teams, and employees. I'm betting you, I will bet you big money on that. But yeah, the Black Friday thing it's actually put some businesses out of business. That's how bad it can be, because it's like Groupon, a seasonal Groupon deal, and people go crazy over these now. All right, let's see what we got in here. We got Ismail. What's up? Adrian. What's up? What's up, Diana? DR Knockable is retarded. Tech Leathercraft. Yep. KRA fourth quarter. Wish the PepsiCo CEO would step down instead. Howard Schultz is stepping down for Starbucks. I don't know anything about that. I haven't seen it. Everybody's been going on this Casey Neistat selling his company to CNN for reportedly $25 million. And it was funny. He did a video talking about this isn't winning the lottery. Basically, he and a partner put $2 million in. So they had some investors. And if they sold it for $25 million, that is a lottery. But I don't know the details. Let's see. Santiago B, yeah. What's up? T3 Divine Healing, good day. Knockable, I thought Black Friday was just to get the customers in the door. DR Knockable, okay. This year, for the first time, more people bought online. So the door, because here's the whole thing, you get through the door, they have the traps, as one of my ex-girlfriends used to call it. Like, that's a trap. They'll have all that good, juicy stuff to lure you in, and then you get to the back of the store, and there's some other stuff that you buy. People aren't going to the store like they do. Like, I did not participate in Black Friday shopping, but let's see. I'm going to show you some pictures. I think I can show you some pictures. I think I can. I'm going to show you what. Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I angle it down. All right. Yeah, that's my front door. It's looked like this, and this isn't me. That's my front door. It has looked like this whole. It started last week, and it just kind of slowed down. Let's see what else we got here. This is some more stuff. Let's see. And I don't have pictures of everything. I mean, let's see. So people are taking advantage, and she did not. She went to the mall twice, and her thumb probably wore out from hitting those apps so hard. So you got to have that deal, or people are just like, I'm going to the next guy. Templar King, what's up? Hearing y'all during work. Sunday Obiga, I appreciate all the available content to get my mind going in the right. It's really helping. Cool. You're absorbing. Take action. That's the most important part. Take action. But yeah, I'm opting out of Black Friday tactics and other things because what you do from a business standpoint is you train your customers only to buy when stuff is for sale, which is really bad. And it's going to create a lot of problems for whatever business model that you have, because people become, there's this old saying, luxuries once tasted become necessities. It's got to be a necessity. It's just got to be you've got to have those sales, and it brings you a different type of customer that isn't good for long-term profitability. So those are the things. Now, if your business model is predicated on you selling a bunch of low-end, low-margin stuff, and you have the sales velocity to make that happen, okay, you can play that game and win. But if you were broke dig Danny, penniless Priscilla, you're just starting out, you're just putting together your shillings to do some stuff, you're going to have to really work on selling, and you're going to have to work on profitability. It's a really hard thing because this is something that I know to be true. And this is something that I found out 2011-ish. I had put out this video that I was doing these things, and I had these coaching programs, and one of them was 50 grand, right? I just put it out there, and the channel had a better mix of congruent viewers, and I had a few people take me up on that. Now, with that said, if I didn't put that out there, I would not know that someone would pay me 50 G's to work with me. Was it a bunch of people? No. Was it most people? No. It was like 0 point something percent, not even a full percentage point. But the thing is, 2 of those a year, that's a nice year. 2 people pay you 50 G's? You got other stuff going on? I mean, look, under the video, I sell those books and stuff every day. That's the evergreen thing. But if you are like, many people do a lot of Black Friday stuff year round. It's always, this discount. There's always this thing to create buzz, and it works. But the competition pool is becoming so big that game is just treacherous. It's like dancing on a cliff with ice. As long as you are steady, fine. But one wrong slip, shoo, you're over the edge. Watch this. I'm in the Dr. Knockable. I'm in the trucking business, and Amazon's the biggest thing happening in Texas. What do you mean exactly? Michael Sneed, have several friends that own Sears hometown stores. They hate Black Friday. Manufacturers cut their percentages, cut prices. They have to hire additional staff, stay open later, and they lose money. Michael, thank you for coming along. See, that's the thing that people talk about. This is something else you'll see with Groupon. Groupon has put many people out of business. When in Paris, not once did Hermes give me a discount on that bag that they had 3 in discounted scarves and notepad 20 pin, but we're not talking about total sale. Yeah, on certain brands, you're never going to get a discount. Hermes, Apple recently, and you can check out my video about why I'm not buying the MacBook the 2016 MacBook. I think Apple's making some bad moves that's going to later end up with some problems for them, because Apple discounts now. They discount a certain MacBook Pro. They discount the iMac, because I mean, she got an iMac. It was like $300 off, and they've never. This is something they have not done for a while. You've gone years and years and years, and they weren't doing this. Now they're doing it. So I don't understand. I'm not the CEO of Apple. I don't know the internal workings. I don't know what they're doing, but just from a person who has spent, tens of thousands of dollars on Apple products, and now I'm not spending anymore, I think they're going in the wrong direction. But with this Black Friday stuff and other business information, because you'll hear people say you got 3 years to make a profit or set. The government cannot say when you will not make a profit. They don't have that kind of power. There have been many businesses with heavy investment. They tried their best and they made no money. So the tax code can't make your business make money. However, they can see if you're trying to play tax avoidance tactics by creating a business with never having the intention to make any money. They can see that, and that can actually put your ass in jail. So, those kind of things you got to stay away from. But yeah, Black Friday is a very interesting animal, and is also predicated on scarcity. Let me explain. You've got 50 items that you got these televisions, right? Because I almost bought a television, and I'm gonna tell you why I didn't buy the television. It was big. We've got a 65-inch over the fireplace, right? And I was looking and looking and looking, and a lot of the, it's really nice. This is a smart television, 5K, all that. I really like it. And what I saw was not as comparable. So what my plan is, I'm going to do some research. I'm going to get like a 70-inch, put that over the fireplace, and I'm going to bring that one down here. And the whole methodology to me is, I wasn't looking for the deal. I was looking for what I wanted. And there are many people who will, disregard certain features, say forego certain things because the price is right, but I'm not that kind of shopper. And as we are in the great United States of America, where anybody can get anything and be anything, a lot of people have OD'd on cheap shit. They want something nice. They want something unique. So for those of you who are going to build companies, you can build a small craftsmanship company selling anything and make bank, because people are looking for the experience, because, cheap iPhone cases, the stuff you have, and then like a week later, it's falling apart. People like moving past that. But Black Friday is just synonymous with massive discounts. And going back to what Snead said, Michael Snead and his friends who hated the Sears hometown stores, and that's something else. The Sears hometown stores are a franchise, so you can't really run your business exactly like you want. Sears, the parent, the franchisor, is saying, hey, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this and this. And that can be harmful to your business. This is one of the reasons, I say a lot of shit about Amazon, but from Bezos to Amazon, his company and the company for his customers, it's brilliant, because they do stuff that they can always serve the customer, because they will say, screw Wall Street. And they've been like that for years. And that's one of the reasons I think that they dominate online. I just think that if you, as a business owner, not a reseller, but a business owner, if you use Amazon, it should be a liquidation channel, and that's it. Or you've really created your own product, not private labels. You've really created some shit, and you sell it on your website. And then when you run a product line. It's like, okay, this thing didn't really sell as well. Then liquidate it on Amazon and take it off your site so people don't see sales on your site. You can just throw it on Amazon, roll it out, throw some paid traffic at it, get rid of it, recoup your money, move on to the next thing. But Amazon being your primary source of income, that's dangerous, baby. That's just dangerous in these times. I was watching some videos and I predicted this. And this is what's really, really funny, because all of this kind of ties in together with discounting, race to the bottom, selling super low. I've got several videos. Just go to YouTube, no eBay, no Amazon. Watch, it's like 4 or 5 of them, and watch those videos and see how much shit that I predicted before it happened. And there was many people who said Glendon is a hater. Glendon can't make any money on Amazon. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. And now these same slack mouth, sad little puppies are like, well, Amazon's not for everyone. And it's only, and I'm like, fool, I said that shit years ago. Why? Because all third-party platforms at some point must behave the same, because their interests are vested in what they want to do, not what you want to do, but what they want to do. So it gets to be very, very interesting. Now, some other myths are, because like with the LLC course, we're going to talk about, it is an instrument. It is a tool. And just like, I don't really have an, oh, actually I do. All right. Here's my battery charger, right? Pretty much a tool. It does what it's supposed to do. If I put batteries that have corrosion on them, or I don't structure this thing right, it's going to explode because I'm misusing the tool. And that's what happens with, LLCs. Here's a D-ring, right? Now, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. Yeah, maybe let's go close. Let's go close. Let's see. Can you see it? Yeah. All right. It says not load bearing, right? Now, what does that mean? If I try to use it to climb a mountain and this sucker broke, that's on me, because it tells me, hey, this isn't for mountain climbing. It's not load bearing. Some people's like, well, it didn't say it's not for mountain climbing, so I'm going to sue. I know, being a reasonable person, that I can't use this to climb mountains because it's not made for that. And that's like with LLCs, that's with S Corps, that's with a C Corp. Using them improperly can also cause problems. Using sales improperly can cause problems, because I really never look at, even when I was selling, and when we're in the store structure business, we didn't retail, upscale garage sale. We didn't have Black Friday sales. Our shit was so discounted every day, it just didn't make sense. We just sold. And I know this for us, and those of you who have physical stores, your drop-off is going to happen probably in a week or two, where people are saturated. Depending upon where you sell, you might be able to sell up to Christmas Eve. And then if you're not selling online, boom. That's what's going to happen. It's just going to fall off. So, it just really, really depends on so many things that will happen with your business. It becomes really, really critical. And that's one of the things I'm doing, like this whole misinformation of Black Friday. You should be really smart with setting up your business now for the holiday season next year. I was talking to a client, and I didn't know this, but Amazon is just like really, really making it hard for the new seller. Now, I just predicted this, but I don't know nothing. I'm just a dude that's just been down that road before. I know where all the good places are to eat. I know what the local people will do. I don't know. I just been there before, but hey, people continue to, some people, because some people will be like, hey, I understand, I'm gonna listen, and they take action. Other folks be like, I'm gonna ignore him, and it happens. But Yeah, we didn't really pay attention to that stuff because we were selling used items mostly. We did have a good mix of new, but new stuff was maybe 10% of the mix. It was just, I was just me and the multiple streams of income, always pushing the business. But yeah, 90% was used. About 90% was used. And I learned that tiles, tiles, TOWEL, rags, sheets and stuff, they sell a weekend after Christmas. And that's one of the reasons that when I would buy, I would focus really on things that people needed. And people, people with kids, they buy a lot of towels, they buy a lot of rags, they buy a lot of sheets, comforters, stuff for the home. So it gets to be really, really incumbent on you to understand your customer because I actually put out some very expensive stuff. And, people who don't have businesses who are just like, hey, man, let's talk about this. I heard, I don't have a business, but I heard that you should do this or do this. I put out I raised my prices for consulting to $1,000 an hour. In 2017, I'm gonna raise them again. I raised package prices and I had people sign up during the so-called holiday season. See, scarcity mindset, which really feeds into the Black Friday thing, is that you got to get this to make the most of your money. But see, this is a little sneaky little trick. Some people, well, usually most people overspend. So whatever savings they were going to have evaporate. So the marketing is on point. But when the scarcity mindset is, hey, you got to do this, it's fourth quarter, it's Black Friday. I'm like, dude, I'm going to sell today and I'm going to sell tomorrow and I'm going to sell stuff on Christmas Day and I'm going to sell stuff after Christmas. My goal for my company is to sell 365 days a year. And for me, I like predictable income. I like predictable trends, which means I have to work really, really hard, but I don't have this big drop off that people do. And this was something that happened when we were selling physical products. For those of you who are selling physical products, they're like, oh, what the hell? Find stuff that people need. Find stuff that people need. Sell that. Find stuff that people need. People's needs don't disappear because it's no longer Christmas. People's needs don't evaporate. And if there's especially with people with kids, if there's something they got to have for the kids, they're going to put their money and they're going to spend it for the kids. They got to do it. So look for stuff that people need. What's up, Ronnie? Let's see. Diane Thompson, True G kept me from making a huge financial mistake. I love the background, Ronnie. Rugged College to sell handmade items, and Amazon has a new program for this, but they rejected me twice. They want to know a lot more about my procedures. What they want to know is how you do what you do so they can duplicate it and they can sell against you. That's what they want to do. Amazon, in that regard, is doing pretty much what the Chinese does to companies that want to create corporations and stuff in China. It's like, drop your pants. We need to do an anal exam. No, don't worry about that big, really big dick. No, we're not using that. It's just Dr. Yee over here with his little pinky. Wow. Broderick. Black Friday is more like Black Week. Scratching my head. There's so many deals still. Now, Black Friday starts October. I saw, matter of fact, I got this picture because I took a picture because, let's see, we have to go. I know it's in here because I was just kind of blown away, but let's see, where is it? I was shocked. Where the hell is it? Well, I guess I don't know where it is, but essentially it was a Christmas tree lot that was put up roughly October 25th. And I took a picture of it because it was blowing my mind. It wasn't even Thanksgiving. It was October sometime, like October 25th, 6th, or 7th, because it wasn't the 28th, and this was well before Halloween. And they had this Christmas tree stuff up, and I was just like, wow, that's you ever scroll through your pictures, look at something, and realize you be taking a lot of pictures of bullshit? I'm like, good Lord, what was I thinking? But yeah, that was the thing. They went ahead, bam, I found it. Let's see. Let's blow this up. I have to tilt it. Christmas trees, October like 27th, man, or 25th, 27th. I was just like, damn. So Black Friday starts then. They had Christmas stuff in Target with Halloween candy. Nappies are a big market here in Africa. Also, toilet paper. What is nappies? I don't know what that is. You know, you being in South Africa, I don't know, because, you know, different terminology, because I was talking to someone who's in Japan recently, and everybody's got their own logo, their own stuff. But yeah, it starts and it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. But the thing is, there's another issue with this thing. Oh, diapers. Okay, I was assuming, but I wasn't sure. All right, appreciate that. Is you cannibalize your customer base. All right, let's say you go out and you do a lot of selling of something. Let's say you got widget and it's $100. It's normally $400, right? So you'll have people, because the deal is so good, that they will buy it before they need it. And then later on, when you try to make sales, they're like, I already got that. So not only do you kill your current profitability, you could be locking and loading on your future profitability because of the heavy discounting. And that's one of the reasons that any one of my customers or clients that works with me, I push to raise their average selling price. I mean, our average selling price, believe it or not, we sold a lot of cheap bullshit on eBay and Amazon, but it was roughly $125, because this is the whole business plan for those you want to know. What we did is we bought the units and all of the cheap bullshit, toasters, small TVs, that went in the dollar section, because every week I got it. I buy 10 by 20. I'm going to get a bunch of clothes. I'm going to get a bunch of towels. I'm going to get clocks. I'm going to get microwaves. I'm going to get coffee pots. I'm going to get, you know, and I'm just like, it's just going to stack up. So just put in that dollar section, and people would buy 20 things, or they'll buy 30 things, or this, my friend from Brazil would come up and he's like, he would have 4 garbage bags. What kind of deal can you make me? I just stopped counting. I just threw it in there. Would you take $150? But me knowing he probably had 200 items in there, maybe even 300. But what? I was going to throw it away. And once I learned how to let that go, we started making so much money, because this stuff was coming in, blow it out, let them have it. Don't fight with them. And the better stuff, eBay and Amazon. We made so much money just my partner, she just started doing this. She started throwing books up on Amazon. She would like, she put all of them up there, then she kind of figured out what sold them. And then all the books that really weren't high rank, we sold them in the warehouse for $1. And people like, hey, would you do 10 for $1? Sure, because we've already went through those books. I mean, it's just really, really dependent upon how well you know your business. But the Black Friday stuff is dangerous. Is you are a small retailer. And also many people get caught up on velocity. You're selling a lot of stuff, it's going out the door. But see, there's this thing called buyer's remorse. There's this thing called returns. Your returns are going to triple. And this is not just with eBay or Amazon. This is with everybody. Everybody. Your returns are going to go through the roof. Wrong size, I don't want it. People are going to come in, they're going to exchange, and you'll still keep the money because they'll do an exchange. But now you got this thing that you got to sell at a discounted price because it's no longer new. Open box. Those are laws. There's a reason they call it open box. Once you break the packaging and sealing, you can't sell this new anymore. You have to go open box, refurb to some. You can't do it legally. You can't do it. You know, you've got that stuff going on. So, this is the focus of these little chats and stuff. Like I said, it's Friday. I'm in a blackout. I don't know. I might do this for football season, but essentially, you guys have got to really, really sit down and think about your business from another level. Definitely. Like I said, this is what's going to be happening. There'll be topics like this and other topics. Some of them be super hot. Some people I know don't really care about this, but if you're building a business, you should really look at this and don't set your business model up predicated on what people tell you should do who don't have businesses. And also, if you were talking to people who don't own their supply chain, own their sales channel, I mean, eBay and Amazon, big channels, tons of millions and millions of customers around the world, but you don't own that. Well, since you don't own it, you can't get the metrics, that really good information that you need to make better decisions. That's the problem. You just can't get that stuff. So those are things that you as an entrepreneur, you as a hustler, you have to look at from a long-term perspective, because it will matter. Oh my God, don't let them be from another country. It's, people go crazy. Like I said, I'm not playing it. I did it last year and it did well because I had stuff, but I'm putting out new stuff and I'm not doing Black Friday. I'm doing beta, which means you get in early, you get your best deal because the product will increase in price. And that's something I learned from the storage auction game. David Boyd, how do you find a good mastermind group? Here's my thing on masterminds. When I started writing, we didn't call it mastermind, but that's what it was. It was one person, just two of us. And once a week we got on the phone, we talked throughout writing. She saw stuff I didn't see in the writing space, and we both gave each other ideas. A true mastermind that cares about you and will help you would probably be 2 to maybe 10 people. You will actually know each other. You will talk frequently. That's why because I was going to do mastermind groups and I already saw where the trend was heading, that the term mastermind was being bastardized. But you want a networking group that's small and some people that you can actually meet in real life, or at least get on the phone with. Yeah, I mean, I know what you meant. I know what you meant. A lot of masterminds online are bullshit. It's just a marketing device. Broderick, I'm about to have a mastermind group meeting now. We meet through a workshop. Yeah, I mean, the smaller the mastermind, the better it's going to be. You're in the mastermind, there's like 1,000 people in the group, and I would see that with group. There's a few groups I'm in and people put questions. Nobody likes it. Nobody answer it. There's 20,000 people in that group. So it's pretty interesting. All right, cool. Cool. All right, so I'm about to bounce. I don't know if I'm probably not going to do anything tonight because it is football. SEC championship is tomorrow, so I'll be out, but I will be working a little bit this weekend. Be sure to get the the Secrets to Fat Cat Profits LLC beta offer course. I know I just bastardized that whole name, but check out the video I did last night. I'll give you more details if you need more details before you push that buy button. And essentially, it's just me breaking down the intricate details of LLCs. Someone asked me about LegalZoom. I'll answer that. And I heard something. I mean, I can't bash them. I've never done business with them. One of my policies is, if I don't do business with you and I don't know, I don't talk about it. Because too many people are just going like, I have an opinion. They treat that opinion as if it's fact. Also, you mess with the wrong people, that can get your ass in court. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing with masterminds, smaller is better. But be sure to get that. It's in the play for the next 11 hours. And then you'll get your first overview today, some more stuff. There will be no live streams during the weekends. Typically, the live stream in the morning is a guaranteed Monday through Friday. We'll do the show. I'm probably going to add some other stuff here. May bring on some guests. I want to let this thing kind of evolve the way that it's evolving. Because what I want to do, I think I'm I may have an attorney that I could bring on, a business attorney. We've been talking about that. I want to get a CPA, someone live. You could really throw live questions, and the attorney and the CPA are going to tell you that, hey, I'm based in Georgia, and what I tell you is only based in Georgia. Then you'll need to talk to someone in your jurisdiction or your locality. They'll tell that, but typically the overview is going to be the same across the country. It's just certain nuances and benefits. Sam Smith, how does one overcome information just become intellectual? How does one overcome information just being intellectual entertainment? Okay, all right, I feel you. I know where you're going with that. That's what I call hustler porn. Now, there's two components to this and why there's so much of it. First of all, people get bored real easy, and talking about a lot of business tactics like this. I mean, I'm surprised as many people are here for this. People just have become conditioned to, they have to be entertained to be educated. So there's two things here that are going. This just didn't happen in a vacuum. So some of the smarter guys who really want to help people, they become very more entertaining, and you kind of, there's these lines like, well, if I don't tell them this stuff's happening and I entertain them, is that ethically wrong? In my opinion, yeah. Now, see, this is one of the reasons that I don't partner with anyone. I don't have sponsors. I don't have joint ventures with people, because I can say that's bullshit if it's bullshit, and I don't have to worry about that. But once you start hooking up with people, shit gets very political. It gets very political. So, more to your point with intellectual entertainment, do what I call 3-point checking. Like, what I'm talking about here with Black Fridays. Go Google, is Black Friday really profitable for business? You're going to find out that some business made a lot of money. You're going to find out things about the returns. You're going to find out that a lot of companies avoid it. So this information is something that could be checked with various resources that ain't me. So that's a good way to determine if the information is relevant, if that makes sense. Sure thing, David. Thanks for being here. BT the creator, what's up? Money Flowers. Where are some websites that business newbies can hang out where they can get their newbie questions answered or swap stories? Basically a community where people like to talk about business stuff. All right. You're going to have to do your own work on that. And this is why. Typically, I want you to really think about this. There's websites, but like, I'll give you one, fizzle.co. Matter of fact, let me show it, because people be like, oh my God, what happened? I can't find it. You won't hear a lot about it, but they got a pretty, well, I've got the spinning wheel, meaning I'm doing too much. Fizzle.co. Let's see. I'm making sure it's still there. I don't know what the hell. Okay. All right. So let me hit screen share and show you this stuff. All right. There it is. And go to the top, fizzle.co. Go check it out. They talk about a lot of the business stuff. Pat Flynn, you can listen to his podcast. A lot of this stuff is internet based. And one of the things I do is I talk about internet businesses. I also talk about physical businesses. And I stick with that because even with us being in this internet world, only 8 to 12% of all commerce is done online, which means 80 something percent, any way you slice it, 85 to 88%, well, no, 80 to 90% of commerce in the world is still done face-to-face and physically. So that's just a really good way for you to get started and then transition online. But they do a lot of online stuff. So hopefully that was helpful. Just hopefully. Let's get back in there. What's up, Patches 301? 3D Divine Healing. I have really benefited from your content, and I'm more just a fan. I'm a student. I have referred my sons and nephews to your channels. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for hooking me up like that. Appreciate it. All right, if that makes sense, Sam, cool. Mango's Class Closet. Glad I could finally tune in. These shows happen most mornings around sometime before 10. This will start a little late. I had stuff to do. But Monday through Friday, there'll be a morning show. I have a list. You can get, if you're on the email list, I send it out 15, 20 minutes before. Like I said, this seems to be working very consistently. Is that percentage different here in America? It's worldwide. I would think in other places of the country, you know, the online presence is smaller. I'm in groups with people who are in UK and Australia, and they're all trying to get US customers because we have the largest disposable income market in the world. We got it. So everybody's trying to sell us stuff here. We're about the mastermind on Hangouts, and way to record them. Go to Google Hangouts, and you can get up to like 10 people, and you can record them. I appreciate the good mornings. I haven't caught the last two live streams. I always catch up after work if I can't catch them on break. Yeah, you know, I leave these up. These are designed to be up for a long time. I don't, you know, because there's stuff I would put up and I would take down, but these are designed to be up for a while. So that's the thing, yeah. Because I talk about a broad array of topics, and it's going to get broader. You know, we'll talk about. I got a guy. Maybe he'll talk about how he started his car wash. He makes $1 million. He might talk about it. He may not. You know, I've been pushing him. All right. So be sure to get the special. And matter of fact, let me bounce in there real quick, and let me show it to you. Because these are things that will be around. These will not disappear. You know, these are things I already know will work. So this is the deal. Fat Cat Secrets: How LLCs make you bank and protect your money. It's $100 right now, and the price will be going up after today because we're going to get into some wild stuff. It's going to be a very different kind of course, but you will get the information that you need to make the proper choice on which type of corporate entity that you will need for your business. And during the Trump years, you're going to need them. You're going to need it. The Trump years are going to be a situation of some people are going to become quite wealthy, and some people who are poor are going to become even poorer. You know, just put the Like, I mean, seriously. Of course, it's going to take you a few weeks to get through. You know, this is not something you can sit down and do in a day. If you already have an LLC, will it still benefit you? Oh, yeah. Because some people have LLCs that are improperly set up. They haven't filed out the proper paperwork. And once you start, as long as you don't make any money, as long as nothing bad happens, your LLC is going to look and feel like it's doing the right thing. But if you run into an error or you run into a situation to their Internal Revenue Service, the shit can be very costly. All right, I'm out. You folks have a great weekend. Price of Fat Cat Profits will be going up very soon. So jump in there, and I will catch you folks later. Be sure to subscribe, share, and leave a comment.